Uh-oh.
It's your problem, sir. I'm scrolling.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to another great edition of the ATF radio show here at beautiful Executive Cigar Lounge in downtown Sanford on the waterfront, West Seminole, not to be
Seminole.
confused with Seminole Vessel,
Seminole.
the Seminole
Seminole.
Boulevard.
225.
225, as Art said. You know what it is. We're here for another smoke session, drink session, gun session, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So I'm going to go ahead and have Art start us off with the cigar that we are going to smoke today.
This guy ain't even connected.
I was wondering why his mic's not on. Like, way to go, Art.
Way to go. Me, you usually plug this in.
Well, Steven gave me your headphone cord, so I assumed that everything else was already connected. And the headphone's not even connected. Oh, great.
No, I had to disconnect it to get this.
Oh, to get that. That's the problem with the older generation. They're so not technically savvy, you know?
What?
Tell him, Mark.
Come on, man.
Tell him, Mark.
Just plug me in. Do this doggone thing.
You were hot and live.
Much better. Much.
So go ahead, Art. Let's tell the people what we're smoking today before we start.
So today, we are smoking and reviewing the Weller by COHIBA cigar. So, our good friend Sean Williams, who's a previous guest on the show, was part of the blending of this particular cigar. And the idea is this is supposed to be the ultimate cigar to pair with a bourbon or a whiskey. So probably not your daily first smoke of the day, but certainly a smoke that you want to pair with a bourbon or whiskey after a nice meal, end of the day, and cap off the night. So it's a trend lately with cigar manufacturers, partnering with distillers to bring product to market. So this is Cohiba's entry into the blend or into the mix, and so that is how we're going to start off the show.
Let's get it.
So, Steve, I know you had a few. You mentioned previously that your notes are pretty well top of mind on this. So, you want to give us what you got on this?
Keep on rising to the top.
So it's a really good cigar. Really good cigar. There's no warm up or waiting for it to open up. It's pretty. It has a lot of combination of flavor from the very beginning, and I got like a lot of like a sweetness. There's a lot of sweetness to it. It did have like a woody flavor. I don't know if I would say oak. It probably was oak, but there's so much other flavors that are hitting you. Like you're getting a lot of spice, but it's not black pepper spice. It's just
White pepper?
a lot of white pepper. I don't. It's a really complicated to explain almost because it has so many other sweeter flavors, contrasting flavors that are hitting you at the same time that you get like a lot. But you get a lot of wood, and you get a lot of sweetness to it, and it seems, if I remember correctly, the actual the tip of it is actually sweet. Either that or it could be whatever they rolled it in had something kind of sweet to it. But I did get
It's
for some
mildly
reason.
sweet.
Huh?
Mildly sweet.
Yeah, it's like a mild. It's not like a heavy. It's not like they just drenched it in like honey or something. It's like whatever it had some sugar in it, and you're tasting it now. So, but it was very, because Pernell was like, I'm smoking it. I was like, no, man. I remember a lot about that cigar because I was literally sitting on the porch. Um, actually, I think I was in Satellite Beach, and I lit it because Art gave it to me, and I was like, I
I'm gonna
guess I'll
smoke
smoke
it.
it now. This is a good time to smoke. And I was actually drinking gin, so it kind of cleared. It gave me a little flavor, but it did clear my palate a little bit.
Okay.
When I sat and smoked it, and I lit it up, and I kind of expected it to be okay. I didn't know if it was going to be really, really good, but I knew it'd be okay. I mean, it's bottled individually, so I was like, probably pretty straight. And then when you clip it, you start smoking. You get a lot of flavor without retro inhaling. But then when you retro inhale, it's like
Even on the cold draw,
it. Wait till you light it. It's fire. It's a really good cigar.
I'm gonna have to go back to my old school method of
I would not use like I'd
matches
use
and
like
cedar strip for
cedar
this
strip on
because
that. Because I did it with a torch, and
it was still
really
great.
had a lot of characteristics, ton of characteristics of that cigar. But you're just gonna the first half of it, you're gonna be bombarded by so much, you're not even gonna pick apart some of the things that's in the cigar. But I give it that.
So construction-wise, this is a Ligero wrapper from St. Augustine, Honduras, or Connecticut, Habano, Medio, Pienso binder, and fillers from both Esteli and Omete, Nicaragua. So the Orlando COHIBA is made at General Cigar Dominicana. As we all know, General Cigar. We make a lot of blends for a lot of different people. But no, I enjoyed it more than I thought I would. And you know what I pick up from it, going through the cigar, is I pick up some coffee, some espresso, or cocoa. Um, it's got some leather to it, so indicative of Cohiba as a brand. My experience smoking it is that it's consistent from the first third, second third, and then the final third. It's pretty consistent all the way through. So
It's a lot of cocoa.
it is.
That's what I think I was looking for in this. It was a lot of cocoa.
Yeah, cocoa,
I didn't see
espresso, yeah, definitely. So
Wow.
So in a sense,
Wow.
With coffee, that would be really
Yeah.
good.
yeah. So in a sense, it's interesting because they wanted to be paired with bourbon and whiskey, but old school heads or people who have different types of talents like us could certainly pair this. I'd like to pair this with a Cuban coffee, so or cafe con leche or something like that. So and even though I'm not much of a coffee drinker, a cigar like this, yeah, I can see pairing with a nice coffee or even a nice hot tea. I prefer tea to coffee. So
I'm telling you, you just need a Cuban steak with some rice and beans, and then have a coffee right afterward with a
This
quesito, and you smoke that. That would be. It's like
when I
almost a
smoked
dessert.
when I smoked the one that Art gave me a couple weeks ago, I was actually up in Philly, and we went out to an outdoor on the water dance hall reggae event, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna smoke my cigar. I started smoking my cigar, and then the family members what I was with, my girlfriend's family, her cousins and stuff, everybody started drinking Hennessy. So anything was possible that night. So I don't even recall. Yeah, and not because I was like obliterated drunk, but it was just like Hennessy is so strong that it coated my whole palate, so I couldn't really pick up what I was smoking. Like I knew I was smoking, but I couldn't pick up any flavors. And like the first couple draws on this are just amazing and effortless. I mean,
Yeah, right.
that heavy cocoa powder flavor,
yeah,
like not actual chocolate, but the actual cocoa powder, like that flavor comes through very well. And it's definitely, like you said, from the beginning, it's a punch in the face. Like it's a strong cigar, and I like that. So I'm understanding why they would want you to pair it with a bourbon or a whiskey, and even that sea salted caramel, Duke and Dane,
yeah,
would go great with this because it'll level it out a little bit and give it a little bit more sweetness. So if you're not that big of a full-bodied smoker, then you're definitely going to want something that has a little more sugar to it, a little lightness to it, to kind of help you to truly enjoy the cigar if you're not a heavy smoker. But yeah, this is uh, words. I don't have any right now. This is good. I just want to smoke.
It's not something you're gonna smoke very cheap. Like that's gonna be. It's the thing I like about it is how you notice how when you're cutting it and you're actually feeling that leatherness on
Mm-hmm.
the tobacco, that's what I like the most. That's something I think oftentimes we try to describe cigars as, but they're oftentimes just short of really saying that. But we use it as a way to describe it. That literally feels like leather.
Yeah, and
When you
it's funny because this is like a little smoother than Mexican San Andreas. Like Mexican San Andreas gives you that kind of gritty sandpaper feel on the outside because it's a very hardy leaf, you know. But this one, you're right, it comes to that smooth leather feel, and oh god, man, the taste on this thing is it's everywhere.
when I see it, I kind of, to be honest, if I were to put a scale from 1 to 10, that the look of that cigar is a 10 that I would always pick up because it has, you can see the oil on it and you can see the smoothness because of the gloss off of it. So even though it's in a bottle, you almost know if you smoke it what that's going to be.
Oh my god, I just retrohaled this.
Right?
What? Whew,
I was going to go to bed early when I smoked that cigar. I was like, nope, the party's just started.
This retrohale is,
It's immaculate. It's something special.
and it doesn't burn.
At all.
No.
It's smooth.
It is very
Like you can pick up the spices on the front of your palate in your mouth.
It would be like you inhaling a humidifier
Yeah,
in your house. It just rolls right through your.
it's
through your
clean.
nasal passage.
Like
It
you
does
get all the
not.
flavors, but you don't get any of that. You know, usually when you retrohale a full-bodied cigar, like your whole nose canal, both sides of your nostrils feel like they're on fire. But this, you get all of those notes. You get the cocoa, you get even a hint of leather, and I mean, for me, I don't know.
I hope we get a chance to get Sean Williams back on the show.
I would love to talk
I would love to.
Oh man.
You know, get his take on this.
Well, I could tell you what he's going to say. He's going to say 2 words: trade secrets. Because this is honestly, I've been smoking for 22 years now, and I have not smoked a cigar like this before. I've smoked a lot of things that are very close to it, but like I said, with that clean retrohale, I've never had that before.
It also speaks to their relationship with Weller too. I'm assuming that Weller really invested in this in terms of wanting to come up with something that was very unique, very different. And for those who aren't familiar with Weller, Weller's named after William LaRue Weller, early distiller who hired Julian and then Senior as a salesman for W.O. Weller and Sons. And his whiskey was known for using wheat instead of rye, a tradition that continues today through a variety of bourbons and Buffalo Trace
Mm-hmm.
in Frankfort, Kentucky. So there's a lot going on here. So you've got the relationship with Weller, you've got General Cigar involved in distribution. They run about $19.99 per cigar. So you know, we only talk about and feature premium cigars. This is a premium, high, I'd say a middle to high premium cigar. So that's why I put this one for sure. So, but like you said, it comes in a glass tube, and hopefully those who decide to try it will enjoy it as much as we have. And it's interesting because the 3 of us have very different palates. There are
Yes.
things that we agree on, there are things that we disagree on, there are things that we pick up individually. However, we seem to be in a pretty good consensus here that this is definitely a special cigar. It's a different cigar. You know, I certainly like it, and this would easily be part of my general rotation because I rotate cigars like I rotate
Shoes.
channels on the TV screen or shoes. Thank you very much, Cigar Sound. But yeah, that's my take on it. So, and I'm curious to find out if COHIBA is going to continue to partner with other distillers, because I would imagine, you know, this partnership with Weller, depending on how well they sell, that other distillers are going to want to work with them. Could you imagine a COHIBA Uncle Nearest collab? You know, we just saw the Buffalo Trace cigar that just came out.
Mm-hmm.
Virgil, the world's oldest living man, you know, giving one of those the other day, which I enjoyed. So it's definitely a trend that's on it's on the uptake. So
I just hate when they put a glass on it and it disappears. Like I hate when a company does that. They make a cigar, they put glass in a glass tube, put it in a glass tube, and it's trash.
It's for aesthetics, sir. Aesthetics.
Try to get you to buy it, but it's too.
And I will say,
I almost bought. I thought about buying a box when you gave me that one. We talked about it. I thought about buying a box. Like I'm still looking at small batch and debating on my side. It's in my cart. I just haven't bought it yet.
Pull a trigger before somebody else does, and it disappears out of your cart. I will say though, the price point is surprising to me. I think.
Surprising on the high end or the low end?
No, on the low end.
Low end is actually kind of low to me.
Did you price this at COHIBA? Did you price this at $30?
I mean, I would almost price this at like $34.95, honestly.
Oh, so you would take it up there? Okay.
I'd put it up there, with your Padron Maduro 80 years, your Davidoff Millennium Blend. Like, this is that type of cigar. It's a cigar that you're not necessarily going to smoke every single day, but, that once a month, like, relaxing Saturday where you're out on the boat or, after you finish a round of golf, and you're sitting down having drinks with the guys. Like, this is that cigar that just completes the day. And then, honestly, this is a cigar like I'm supposed to smoke tonight at this event, but I just seriously doubt that I'll smoke because I don't think anything else is going to touch my palate today the way this has. Even with washing my palate out, I don't think that I'll fully enjoy something else today. So, kudos to them for that. And the whole the banding system on this I like too.
Yeah, that black and gold. So I know that the gentlemen of Alpha Phi Alpha appreciate this.
Mm-hmm.
So I can imagine this cigar being bought a lot amongst them just because of that black and gold. Well, yeah. So
you know what's crazy too? It's something else I thought when I was smoking it. First of all, first thing was that how good is it to have something that great in a brand that's that well known?
Yeah.
Right out of the box.
Right out of the box. Like, you don't even have to. That's a kind of cigar. Like, COHIBA's the kind of brand that
you don't have to age.
You don't. Yeah, that, and on top of that, it's very recognizable. So even if you don't smoke, you know who COHIBA is. And the second thing is that if you guys tell me if you agree. Do you not think this will be a great transition for somebody who's been on the influent and the infused side, wanting to get into the regular side?
Oh, for sure.
Because it's perfect. Sure.
I can see that because it's a medium full, with a drink. Yeah. If you smoke this by itself, it's a full bodied cigar. But like I said, you can temper it. Depending, like this old fashioned that James made with the Cincoro, like it tempers it a little bit, so it gives it a little more sweetness. It opens up a lot more of the floral notes of the tobacco, and it even dampers down a little bit the spice on it. And I love spice anyway, but
yes, you do.
It's
both like our pepper bone.
Yeah.
So, sure.
No, this is.
So quick segue. I want to make a quick shout out. Say hello to John Smith who just walked in. Also Steve and Linda in the house. Greg Center from the Rum and Nerdy podcast. Welcome. So. Another one who's got his own podcast, so we'll have to compare some notes and maybe appear at some point, or you jump on with us sometime. So you also enjoy cigars, correct?
Absolutely.
All right then. So we'll have to do that. But Rum and Nerdy podcast, check that out if you haven't already. So, but John and I have been hanging out lately. We hit Blue the other evening for dinner, and then we stopped by Cigars and had a smoke and told dirty stories and jokes and everything else. So we had a good time. And then, but I'm not going to embarrass the man right here in front of his face. And then a great dinner last night with Steve and Linda. So good to see you guys. Did you get some rest? I was worried about you yesterday.
I was awake. Sorry.
Okay. Because even though you didn't think I noticed, you fell asleep at the bar yesterday.
Wow.
Did you notice?
I was sitting right next to you.
She was resting her eyes. She wasn't sleeping.
Wait a minute. What? Okay. I missed my afternoon nap. I'm old. Give me a break.
Understood. But glad you guys stopped in. So appreciate that. So again, great. Rum and Nerdy. Check it out. So, what else you got? I've got an interesting update too that I want to talk to you all about.
You can talk because I'm going to smoke. I don't want to talk right now.
So
I'm just enjoying this.
Have we talked about Sorel liquor? You two heard of it? SOREL.
Mm-mm.
So it's a liquor brand, African American liquor brand, founded in 2012, and it's starting to gain some popularity, like Throw Brothers. So, and they just got a $2 million investment last week from Fawn Weaver,
What?
CEO of Uncle Nearest.
Okay.
So, so I'm gonna look and see if I can find some Sorel, so we can check it out. But look at that bottle.
Now, what is it? Is it rum? Is it bourbon? Is it whiskey?
It's that's a good question. It's a liqueur. I know it's used quite a bit in Negroni, but
Oh, so it's from the sorrel plant.
yeah. So,
That's a smart idea because if you have a bourbon, you want something to blend.
Yeah, it's not a bad step. I'll
no,
try it.
not at all, not at all. And so, but it's a Brazilian cloves, Indonesian cassia, Nigerian ginger, Moroccan hibiscus, pure cane sugar. So, and it's distilled from Brooklyn, in Brooklyn, New York. So we definitely need to try to get some and check it out. So,
Oh, by the way, I did go to Sam's Club. I had to get gas anyway.
did you get
I bought a case.
the Bro Brothers?
Yeah.
He
Oh,
was like, a whole
Yeah.
case. He was like, I'm not playing.
I picked up one bottle, and I was like, you know what?
Let's just go.
I was like, this is gonna be like brunch for me and the lady. So I was like, let me just get a case. And the lady's like, you want a case of this? And I'm like, yes,
This is
please.
like a normal mixed drink bourbon, so you could
Yeah,
you
it's
could drink that
perfect.
really fast.
It is perfect.
and shout out to the lady, by the way. It was her birthday. You all were celebrating everything.
Yeah,
That's solid.
she turns 38 on Tuesday.
38.
38.
Great at 38.
Yeah, so
We'll be fine at 39.
there you go.
So she put you in heaven at 37, didn't she? I can go on. I can go on.
No, yeah, we had a great time yesterday. Shout out to my girl Takia. She loves Mexican food. She's from Antigua. She lived in Puerto Rico as a kid during her summers. Um, so she's very heavily influenced by Latin food and culture.
So am I.
So yeah,
In all the wrong
you're a whole different category. We're not even talking about you today at all. I'm just gonna leave you alone. But so we went
I'll be doing
to.
a show next week from the Dominican Republic. I'm just like,
Oh, are you really?
or Venezuela.
Oh wow. Okay, well, there's that. It's
Be
possible.
careful if you come back.
He won't come back. You go to DR, you're not coming back.
John said that.
You go. I'm telling you, you go to DR, you're not coming back.
You know, in that great Indian accent of his, he goes, motherfucker, you can't go to the Dominican Republic.
I love Don.
And I said, why? He goes, cause you have three things going for you. I'm like, what are they? He goes, you're black. I'm like, okay. He goes, you're tall. I'm like, okay.
Don
He goes-
says this being the
He
same
goes,
skin
you're,
tone as you.
you're bald. He goes, you're a handsome motherfucker. He goes, you'll never come back. He said, I'll never see your ass again. You'll never buy cigars from me again.
Yeah, you won't come back.
You got all the cigars you need.
Yeah. So that's
Like-
true.
Yeah.
Why buy
you
the
won't.
fruit when you can buy the tree?
Well said.
Wow.
Well said.
Look at you.
The tree. That's like a field of trees.
Yeah, from root to fruit.
You can make your own opus.
I could.
That's what I would do. I'd be like, you call it opus.
I call it blopus, black opus. I call
right.
it blopus.
So
Just call
anyway,
it black.
we went to Don Julio's yesterday.
Spell BLAK.
I'm sorry. We're getting off topic. Go ahead. Go ahead, cigar snob.
For
So-
the man who wants an opus.
Shut up.
I will be your blopus.
No, so we went to Don Julio's yesterday, and we had about 20 people with us to celebrate. And I was drinking jalapeno margaritas yesterday.
Ooh, that sounds good.
They were good. And after about 6 of them,
Six.
yeah,
Six.
they were good.
Not six.
Yeah, and steak fajitas.
And you saw a friend of ours. You saw a friend of ours there
I
who, at
did.
one point, was going to be our intern.
That is true.
How's Sandra doing?
She's doing well, actually. She said to tell you guys hi. She was thinking about us and the radio show and wondering how we were doing. So we caught up at the bar for a couple of minutes while I was waiting for the tables to be put together. So she's doing great. I told her, we do the show here at Executive in Sanford. So anytime she wants to,
Go ahead, slide through.
absolutely.
Slide through. You always welcome.
Come along and ride on this fantastic voyage.
The views of art are
Was
not
she-
necessarily the views of ATF Radio Show.
Definitely you.
Was she solo or was she with friends or her husband Clay?
She was solo at the bar. I think somebody met her. One of her friends met her for dinner, but she was at the bar for happy hour, hanging out.
What's that song with her and Chris Brown?
Nobody knows. No, we're not going to talk about it.
I forgot.
No, I know the song. I'm just not naming it.
Why? It's a good song.
Of
You
course.
gonna come through tonight?
Nope. What I will do is put this pinky up.
Throw it up, throw it up, throw it up.
So then tonight we're going to throwing her a skate party.
Okay.
Roll.
Yep, roll bounce. Absolutely.
Take me back to them days, man.
Skate.
Get on the edge of that floor.
Oh man, cross it over.
However, I have not
Fantastic voyage.
Hey.
I have not been on a set of skates, either ice skates or roller skates, since I was about 10 when I first started playing hockey. So.
I need somebody to get some video. You gonna bust your ass.
Oh, I'm not, sir. I have no shame. I am going to hold on to the rail on the side.
He's gonna get one of those walkers they got.
You think I won't? As long as I got a cup holder, I'm good.
What's around and find out.
I don't give a shit.
Say, where the smoking section?
Bingo.
Oh,
That
man,
used to be my
would
thing.
That would be a blast, man.
When I was in middle school, that was when I did. I went to skate.
I
Yeah.
like to skate too.
I love skating.
I'd skate past the girls, pat them on the booty, and then take off.
Come by, go backwards. Hey, baby.
Well, right. Even then, I was the booty band.
Coming to the deer.
Yep.
That is not a good title. Nah, you remember the booty bandit from Locked Up?
Well,
That's a booty warrior.
yeah.
That's the booty warrior.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
I'm here for man's butts. I ain't come here for no little boy. See, I walks up to you and I'm like, I like you.
Yo.
And I want you.
No.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Oh.
The choice is yours.
No. Come on.
It's all up to you. Be happy.
He said, I'll be your huckleberry.
That's my favorite line in Tombstone.
Mm-hmm.
That is literally my favorite character. He's the only one that's dying the whole movie. He outlives everybody in real life. How does that work?
He's like a cat. He's got 9 lives.
consumption, and he literally lived longer than everybody else did. And he drank and smoked the whole time.
Well, because the liquor pickled him, so his insides were good. They just, as long as he drank, he was healthy.
If I was gonna be sick, I'd be Doc Holliday.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Also, I've finally taken another step in manhood. My carry and concealed weapons license came.
where did that picture come from? That picture looks old as hell.
They took that when I went to the class.
So Steven
And
said you
Orlando
look old as
Rockefeller.
hell.
That picture looks old as it. No, not that he looks old in the picture, but he looks very young in the picture, and he looks like different. Didn't it look different? To me, it did. I was like, when did he take this picture?
Yeah, they took that at Orlando Rockefeller.
Maybe that's when he had. Maybe that's when he had the beard going.
No,
No,
Was
he
it
didn't have
no?
any facial hair. He was clean cut.
But I'm glad to get that out the way. I talked to Louis Salazar earlier this week. He was recommending that SIG P365 or 365 XL as
Get an F in.
because he said that was created for carrying concealed.
Yeah, but you're a bigger guy, so you can carry a bigger gun concealed.
Well, and then I asked him about the Glock 30.
You can.
And he said, yeah. He goes, but he's got more power, but he holds less rounds.
Yeah, but I mean, just do this. Like, I got my XD45 with the extended magazine in it, and you can't see it when I have a shirt on.
No, you can't.
You can't. It's very concealable.
And you shoulder carry? I mean, I'm sorry.
Not hip carry.
You hip carry?
Mhm.
And it's comfortable?
Oh yeah.
My thing would be just whatever gun you shoot the best with. It don't matter if it's a 380. I don't
Or
think people
22.
like 380s, but I mean, all of them are lethal. So
As long as you put it in the right place.
Exactly. If you can hit whatever you need to hit, whatever round you got in your pocket, whatever you need.
Center mass.
And also, when I head back out and talk to John Smith, who was just sitting at the table with a hat, a friend of his owns a gun range out here somewhere. He said he's got a course and everything and so forth, and he said he would be able to hook the three of us up to visit and go shoot. So I got to get the details from him. But the guy's name is Stan.
Well, I will.
He's got a whole range and course and everything, and he said it's a great experience. So, so we will have to set that up. And
I'll bring all the ladies out to that event. Lucille and all her sisters can come.
make them dance.
Make them sing.
Sing, dance, shout. Oh, also, one update.
Uh-oh, let's hear it.
So, first part is not good. Second part is good.
Uh-oh.
So,
Do I have to go?
no.
Trouble?
So
Okay.
she last week was driving, and a car came down the street where she was driving, headed the wrong direction.
Oh, no.
Wow! And to swerve and avoid this car, she ran up on a curb and popped her front left bumper.
Mm-hmm.
So she was pretty bummed about that, considering it's a new car.
Yeah.
So I said, take it to a local body shop, get an estimate, we'll go from there. So she took it in Thursday, and the lady looked at it, and the lady walked out, popped it back in place.
No.
So no harm, no foul. So she's lucky.
Oh, nice. Yes.
So shout out to Hyundai for making, those kind of bumpers, and all the manufacturers who are making bumpers that when stuff like that happens unexpectedly, it's not automatically going to be $1,500 out of pocket. So,
Right. And then her insurance hasn't gone up
nope.
because she didn't have to report it because that's good.
And she's done the training, and starting next week, she will be working on Sports Center at Scott Van Pelt.
Oh, very nice. That's the way to start your career.
Yep. So doing it her way. So I had one scare, but fortunately, she was angry about it until she got that bumper,
Pop back out.
And I
Yeah.
said, look, you did the only thing you could do. You avoided the collision.
Yep.
And because the car can be fixed and replaced, you cannot.
That is correct.
So and I said, good defensive driving, because that's what it boils down to at the end of the day. So,
Very true. Very true.
Because even if you didn't get hurt, you would total it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, would you rather fix a bumper or have to go through the whole process of getting another car?
Yeah.
And being hospitalized.
Yeah, too.
So that's a child update. So, but it's all
And I've had all four of mine with me for the past week. So 13, 7, 6, and 5.
once again.
And luckily, I sound bad saying this, but I'm so happy that it rained all week because then I didn't have to go out shopping because nobody wanted to get wet. So we didn't have to do any shopping. We didn't even go. I didn't even take them to the nail salon like we usually go every week.
What?
Yeah, they were just like, nah, we'll stay inside and play and watch TV. And I was like, you are the real MVPs.
They are. Because growing up in Chicago, in the summertime, because summertime is so short, even in the rain,
Mhm.
going
Be
out.
out there.
I'm going out.
Out there hanging like wet clothes.
Oh, speaking of that, that's what happened to me last night. After we finished
Are
dinner,
you talking about that monsoon we got yesterday?
bro,
I was stuck in Don's trying to go home.
Crazy.
let me tell you, I parked my truck further away than usual, and she drove separately because I came to get the reservation and everything first. So I get her keys from her, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna go get your car, and then I'll, get the umbrella and everything. So I get to her car, and I'm already soaked because I'm like hitting the alarm, and there's so many cars in the parking lot, I can't see which car's lights are going off. So now I have to walk in the rain, and then I get into her car, and she doesn't have an umbrella in there. So then I have to get back out of hers, find my truck, get the umbrella out of the back of the truck, drive the car around, and when I say completely drenched, like it looked like I went swimming in my clothes. She's like, "Why are you sweating so much?" I was like, "I'm not sweating. This is rain." And then I had to make 4 trips to the car to get the kids in the car, get the mother-in-law in the car, get her in the car, and then get one of her friends to her car. So as soon as I walked in the house, I literally had to take my clothes off in the garage, and they were just completely soaked. Luckily, I parked and I didn't drive my truck this morning, so it sat in the sun. and my seat was fully dry when I got in because it was completely soaked when I got in last night. So
Here's another thing for ladies. If you live in Florida, you should always have an umbrella in your car. Because it always rains here. Like, my wife, the same problem. That reminds me I need to fill all the cars up with umbrellas. Because
yeah,
I have one in my car. It's just because you never know when it's going to rain. You know, it's not like England or Seattle,
yeah,
but it rains randomly. And you don't see it coming until it's already there. And most of the time, it rains fast. But last night, it didn't rain fast.
it did not
It
stop.
rained
No, I
for
got there
a
at.
long time.
I went out to the restaurant at about 6:45, almost 7 o'clock, and it was beautiful. It was like 86 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, and then most of the party gets there, and by 7:30, 7:45, it just completely opened up and was pouring. We didn't leave the restaurant until 10:30, and it was still raining. And I'm like, this is not a regular Florida rain. You know, usually we get a little 5 minute, 10 minute, maybe half an hour.
Yeah, this was different.
And I was like, hurricane season hasn't even started yet. Like, we still got a whole nother month till hurricane season starts. And it's already, so I'm like, this is shaping up to be, this is going to be a bad hurricane season. If it's raining like this already.
You think so?
I
I
think
don't know. They
so.
said that last time, and this past one didn't really hit. I mean, there were a lot of storms, but Central Florida in general, we didn't really see.
But there was also a lot of, I counted probably at least 10 to 12 lightning touches
Oh yeah,
last night. Like, it was, and it was on, and these lightning strikes were probably within a 5 or 10 mile radius.
the thunder has been the lightning and thunder has been. It kind of reminds me of being back in Alabama. Like it
Mhm.
thunders here, but it doesn't really thunder that often and that bad. It's usually just wind and rain.
Yeah,
It's been a lot of thunder here.
Mother Nature putting on a show, showing you who the boss is.
that's right.
She the
Cool,
big
put me to
boss.
sleep.
It's all them fireworks that we sent up into the atmosphere.
Yeah, she's like, I got something for you,
Make it rain on you.
right? So next time she sends that lightning down, I need to give her a list. I got some people I need to get struck.
Wow.
Pow!
And then you were saying you couldn't find the car. That's not even because you can't see. It's because it was that thick.
Yeah.
You can't see.
The rain was like literally, it was like
Driving?
6 feet visibility.
Because I know some people from other states, they're not accustomed to like heavy rain, but the rain here will get so thick. I don't care how well you can see, you're slowing down.
Oh yeah, even on 95 before I've gone 20 miles an hour on 95, and then gotten to the point where I'm like, you know what? At the next bridge, I'm just gonna stop and pull over and get under the bridge and just wait for this. Because yeah, you're not going anywhere.
That's how it was when I went back to Alabama for the 4th that weekend. Like, man, me and Enzo was just in there just chilling. I mean, I was driving, but I've never driven on the highway that slow for miles.
Have you gotten him any dog cigars yet?
Yeah,
Yeah, bro. Wolfgang Puck.
what?
Yeah.
How does this even work?
I mean, obviously,
blow it in his face or something?
no. It looks exactly like a cigar, but it's a dog snack.
Oh, snap.
It's filled and everything. They got like peanut butter filled ones, all types of stuff. Yeah.
You want to get him to do something. Have food in your hand. I don't know if you listen, but I fed him steak last night, and he loved it.
There's nothing wrong with steak.
Yeah, but I don't typically feed him anything with seasoning. And that
Oh yeah, you have to be careful. Yeah, you have to be careful.
Because you know dogs are like old black men. They
Yeah.
can't have any sugar, they can't have no salt, they can't have nothing. And I don't really usually if I feed him something, like if I give him something, and I don't give him like scraps. I usually give him food, like meat or fruit. That's what he eats a lot. He loves fruit. And I'll like if I'm cooking something and I haven't seasoned it yet, I just cooked it. Maybe it's set on some olive oil or butter,
And that's it.
and I'll just throw it to him. He loves it. Like he was eating that steak, he was like, "Yo, what is this?"
You got him
Come
spoiled.
on, son, give me some more. It was a New York strip too.
Oh, you got him eating better than some people out here.
Well, commissary, man. If you ain't in the military,
I gotta go.
you need
don't know,
it.
you
Or
don't
if
know.
you are in the military and you don't go to a commissary, I don't know what you're doing.
Oh, update. Got 2 new ratings coming in.
What?
2 new ratings for my disability.
Ah,
So that means money.
That means a nice, healthy 5-figure check.
Give me hold something.
I ain't got it.
I always say that. Always say that.
And then shout out to our good buddy Jerry.
Jerry.
He got vaccinated.
Yeah.
Everything. Thank you for
Thank
now.
you for
I
now.
just, you know,
I mean, I was just out there in these streets,
in these
catching them
streets.
dead.
I'm for the streets. But shout out to Jerry. Hopefully, he gets better soon.
And his daughter.
And his daughter, yes.
So,
They both, she got COVID, and then he subsequently went to drop some stuff off, had his mask on and everything, and still ended up contracting it. So for the people who don't take it seriously,
It is out
it
there,
is
son.
this Delta strain is not a joke.
it is not.
So
It's like Chuck Norris, not a joke. So, and here's the other thing too. It's not just getting the vaccine. It's not just wearing a mask. There's some people I've seen some people out here with some dirty ass masks on. You can't wear a dirty ass mask.
Gotta wash it.
well,
and
so
think it's still gonna protect you.
here's the thing: those masks are disposable, and truly, like even in the hospital setting, like, and I've used them before. Even the N95 masks, they're only good for 8 to 12 hours at a max, and then you have to throw them away. You cannot reuse them. So that's one of the problems is that, you know, the availability for masks. Yes, there's a ton of availability, but they're not the quality that they need to be if you're going to be able to do a reusable mask. Like my thing is, if you're going to want to do that, you got to go the route of getting the ones with those little filters and everything in them, because at least that way you can take that filter out and throw it away and put a new filter in for the air you're breathing in and out.
Those are charcoal
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the same one we use for gas masks.
Yeah, trust me, it works.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you from personal
And then people, you know, not wearing it properly. I still see people wearing masks below their nose.
Right. It looks like it's the new pants sagging of masks.
Yeah.
Like your whole nose is out.
That's all it is. They just want
And then I still see people they'll have one ear hanging and it's just swinging and hitting up against their face or their hair or something like that. So
And not even and
yeah,
no, not
it's
even the
responsible.
breathing. It's just touching everything you see.
don't touch everything.
Like
You know, mama teach you.
they just grab door handles. They pick up stuff.
I ain't never trust doing it.
And all three of us grew up in an era where
Never trust them.
you wash your hands.
That's just
I you know, in business, there's so many times I've been to conferences and
Go to the bathroom.
go to the bathroom, and they walk right out and wash their hands, and I always make a mental note. Oh, I'm not shaking his hand. This motherfucker's not hugging me.
Nope.
Stay away. But
Keep your motherfucking
Don't
distance.
feel bad if I wash my hands after.
I've been social distancing before that shit was a thing.
Like, that's just how I am. I'm weird like that.
The thing that really kills me, there's two things. There are the people who wear their masks while they're in the car with the windows up and the AC circulating. And then there are the people who put gloves on and touch everything in the store and then go into their pockets or their pocketbooks and grab the money or grab their card with their filthy plastic covered hands and think that they're safe. And I'm like,
It doesn't go
just-
through your hand.
you just contaminated everything.
And your hands are actually, and this is coming from you as well, dealing with biological agents. Unless whatever it is that you're going to come in contact eats through your your skin and your hand is actually safer to use than a glove.
Yeah, unless you have an open wound or an open sore,
That's the only problem you have.
or you take your hand and you wipe your face and you touch one of the wet objects, which is you rub your eyes, you rub your nose, or you rub your mouth.
Cross contamination.
Yeah, that's cross contamination is the only reason why your hands are a problem. But if you wash your hands regularly, you don't touch things with your face or your mouth with your hands, you should be fine. Because trust me, there's a lot of stuff that working, I've touched, and I probably, if I had to put my hand in my mouth or touch something with my mouth, I probably would have been very, very sick. But your hands,
A lot of women too, Stephen.
and girls, are dirty. Some of them used to be. But you gotta be careful. And here's another thing. Before we even talk about any of that, let's just do one thing this year. If we're gonna be paranoid about COVID and all this, let's get healthy. Like the first thing that you can do in your life is be healthy enough for your natural body's ability to fight sickness.
That is
Because
true.
I don't care what you take. If you don't take care of yourself, you're gonna die. You gotta eat your veggies. You gotta eat fruit. You gotta do all these things.
Drink water.
Exercise.
Your body has these awesome things called white blood cells that do amazing jobs of killing things. But if you're not healthy, they can't do their job. So you need to drink water all the time. Work out, eat your veggies, Don't kill yourself with just a whole bunch of protein. You'll be fine. That's how I kind of see it. If you care that much about your life, then you should take better care of your health.
And in doing so, you're also preventing the transmission to other people. So it's not just about you. It's kind of like seatbelts. Yes, they'll protect and save you, but they'll also protect and save other people too. So
It's hard to hit people in the middle of the street with your car if your seatbelt isn't on and you're going like this. You can't run over the person. You gotta have the seatbelt
Why are we running over people?
because people need to get hit sometimes.
Well, today I'm not the asshole. It's clearly you.
Walking,
So.
walking in the middle of the street. You see me coming. I don't want to talk about it.
I just like to throw full soda cans at them. I just think that's.
I need to get a truck horn. I want a train horn.
No, you just got to turn the volume down on your radio, put your head out the window, and say, hey, fuckhead. That's what I do. You don't have the light.
Play some ludicrous. Move. Get out of the way. Stop driving in the left lane. Shit. I'm tired of it.
right?
I'm tired of this shit,
Sound
man.
like an old black man.
Bro, I'm so sick of this. Like, I hate Florida drivers in this crap. You aren't going fast enough. Move.
Yeah, if you're going to go 15 miles under the speed limit, just
If you're going to
Do
go
it
to
on the
speed
shoulder.
limit, move.
just do it on the shoulder.
If you ain't trying to drive on the Autobahn, don't get in the left lane. Just don't.
I'm with you.
What's
Unless the
that?
person-
People don't know about that.
Unless you're in the second lane and the person is going too slow and you don't plan to get over and get over to the left and get your ass back to the right.
Oh,
No.
here's another one that makes me wish I had a rocket launcher in my car. Somebody speeds up to get in the left lane and then they slow down.
Now, how about those assholes we left after the show in the, whatchamacallits? In the Can-Ams.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
so sick of them.
Yeah, remember that
Bro.
they jammed us up last when we were.
They're riding with motorcycles. The
Yeah.
motorcycles are in the right lane.
Yeah,
They're driving slower than the motorcycles in the left lane.
yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like, am I going to have to shoot somebody's tire out here? Like, what are we doing? And then they're looking at you like you're crazy because the speed limit's 65. They're going 70. And they were going like 55.
Yes.
Here's the caveat. It doesn't matter what the speed limit is. If the speed limit is 45 and I want to go 90, you're in the way. Because it does, and honestly, laws are laws. You're not supposed to obviously go over the speed limit.
Blah, blah,
But
blah.
the reality is that you're in a passing lane. You're not in a cruising lane. And the reason why you have the congestion you have is because you're keeping people from going faster than they want to go. And that could be you going under the speed limit. Or it could be that you go on the speed limit. Either way, you're in the way of a group of people trying to go faster than you are. And
Yeah, I
it
mean,
doesn't matter.
they literally had 417 backed up from here all the way to like Redbug.
Because you and I had things to do.
Yeah.
We were trying to get places. And I was doing my best. And you
I'm
were
telling
too.
you.
Make
Look.
me want to hang out the window and pull out a sword like Snake Eyes and get out the way.
I was,
Slice the tire, son.
I was going to let off 13.
Do. See, that's when you need the 50 in the front.
Ooh.
Nah, I don't need that.
Bam!
The problem with the 50 is it just dead in the water. You can't even move
Sit
over
in
to the side. So now I got to run through shit.
Oh, brush guard. See, I got the Forester now. I need to get a brush guard.
If you put the brush guard on that Forester, I'll smack the living shit out
Bam!
of you.
Get you. Move. Why? For what? I need to push some people out the way.
In a Forester? Get the fuck out of here.
Where?
Man, you can play if you want to. You get hit.
Cigar Snob, where are we on time?
Oh, we're at 48 minutes. We're good. We're good. We just rolling here, yeah.
We just went.
They be sleeping on the Forester. She rolled.
So now that you have the concealed,
Yes.
now you've probably got to get a Kydex holster for it. And I'm sure you'll get something Purple Rain themed made. No? Oh, I was expecting
Can't take cloth, right? So you can conceal and be righteous at the same time.
No, I want to keep it basic.
Well, there's a lot of different holsters out there.
What was the one you just mentioned?
The Kydex ones, there's that hardened plastic. They're very good, very durable. And there's a guy me and Steven know on Instagram who actually custom makes holsters. Yeah, you pointed me on to him from Baltimore.
Yeah.
He custom makes holsters, but he also makes holsters with that have two magazines connected to them, two magazine holders connected to them too.
Oh,
So you have your holster.
You have to give me shoot me that his ID.
Yeah, you have your holster, and then you also have a space for two extra magazines to carry.
I like that.
So it's nice.
And it's a small business.
Yeah.
Small man, small. I think it's him and maybe a handful of other people that he has in his business.
Yeah, see, I'm all about supporting small business. That's cool. Thank you.
Brother, man.
That's why you go to local strip
He
clubs.
does? He family?
He one of us.
Oh,
He family.
even better.
Yeah.
Cool. What else? So, any thoughts ahead of time on what you think you may want to review from a cigar perspective next week? Because I was actually thinking, because we are on this thing of the Weller, COHIBA, that maybe
Pappy.
or that Buffalo Trace cigar.
Okay, we could definitely do it.
Is the Pappy good? I've never had it. It's aight.
It's okay.
I've heard different.
And I say that because I like the idea of it. It just doesn't give me enough of what I want. Not that it's a bad cigar. It's just
made that, right?
yeah. It's just that it's for me.
I'll
It's
find out.
oh, there you go. For me, it's just not a it's not an out loud enough cigar for me. It doesn't just grab my attention and say, "Hey, don't do anything else but smoke me right now." I mean, like I said, it's a quality cigar. It's a good cigar, but it just doesn't grab me like other things do. So, and again, my palate is completely different from the two of you. We have similar, palate tastes, but there are a lot of things that you like that I don't like, and vice versa, and the same thing with art. So, it may be a cigar that for me, it doesn't reach my palate the way I want it to. And again, that's partly because I've been smoking for 20 plus years, but also from coming from the blending and manufacturing side, it makes it very hard because you know what you think the cigar is going to be. And that's the hard part about being a cigar smoker who has smoked for a long time and smoked a lot of different things. You know what you think you're going to expect from some cigar makers, but when they put that twist on it and they use other types of leaves or they're using infusion with liquor and things like that, it takes, and it doesn't take away necessarily, but it adds a different dimension that you're not used to. So it's one of those things where, and every time I've smoked Pappies, they've been like Drew Estate dinners and stuff. So I'm always eating and drinking. So I probably need to smoke it by itself with like a glass of water or a cup of black coffee, so that I can completely immerse myself in the cigar and just zone out and see what I taste. But yeah, the Pappy's fine. We can do the Buffalo Trace. And at some point, I want you guys on air to smoke mine
Okay.
and just give your point, your perspective of it.
Okay. More than happy to do that.
But I'm excited.
And we still have to close the St. Augustine.
Yes, that is in the works.
Opportunity.
Yeah, St. Augustine is a lock. It's literally just us picking a date. I got to get with my boy Matt, who's the general manager of the distillery there, and figuring out some good dates for him and some good dates for us. And then we will broadcast live from the St. Augustine distillery downstairs, actually, in the actual distillery where the pots are and everything. We're gonna broadcast from there, and then we'll actually while we're doing the video blog, we will actually just get up and we will tour the facility and video that so that people can see exactly what the distillery is, see all of the different points of the distillery, see the tasting stations, and then obviously, go to the gift shop where they have a plethora of not only alcohol, but all of the accessories. In my personal opinion, their old fashioned mix is probably the best old fashioned mix. Like, I don't have to necessarily add bitters to it. Yeah, it's that good. It's really, and they actually sell it at it usually gets sold out really quickly, but they sell it at Total Wine
I've seen it at ABC.
and AB's. Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you see it, you can grab a bottle of that mix. Honestly, it's perfect.
Okay.
I mean, the only thing I really do is, and I mean, it has the orange zest and everything in it, but I still do my little orange. I do my black cherry and everything. But it's perfect by itself. Like it really is. So, and this is good timing for you to get your concealed because you've been having a lot of unwanted visitors and solicitors.
I have, you know, now I can say this is my rifle, this is my gun, this is for playtime,
Yeah, this is for fun.
this is for
Yeah,
fun.
he had another pop up.
You need a bigger gun. You need a boomstick.
Nah, he don't get a boomstick.
Something with a long magazine.
You know what you need? You need a taser.
I ain't gonna shoot your gun up
Just tase the fuck out of him.
Make them shake like chicken.
Watch them make them piss themselves.
Matter of fact, that ain't fucked up. In 2 weeks, the gun show's in town, so we should go do that.
Like every other.
We should definitely go. 21st and 22nd, it's in town. So
I'm looking for a 1022.
Isn't that the OC Convention Center?
no, the fairgrounds
Oh,
Oh, Southside?
on West Colonial. No, it's not. No, it's not. They got indoor,
this indoor.
Oh,
but it's at the. It's on the west side.
Way over there on the other side.
Prime Hills, baby.
You ever been up to the fairground?
no.
It's rough.
It's rough. They got some good food out there.
I didn't say it wasn't no good food because you know we had good food, but still.
I mean, as long as you go there before 4 o'clock in the afternoon, ain't nobody up anyway. So
I mean, it's not bad. Like I'm not gonna say you should go.
it ain't like South Central on Snowfall until it turn to nighttime. Now, when the sun go down,
You might see some fiends dancing in the street.
oh, I saw one yesterday. Oh man, I had to send a video. I got to send y'all the video.
I wish I could record some of these.
This
dudes. I be seeing
dude-
it downtown. I seen a dude do the Harlem Shakeover on Central one time.
What?
He was killing it. I was like, what
Oh,
is he
speaking of that, did y'all see the Dipset Locks
I didn't
versus?
watch it.
No,
I forgot it was
Let
coming
me
on.
tell you,
I heard
Jadakiss
threw
alone.
out.
I mean, when I say like
He was clowning.
Chic Luch, and they didn't even have to do anything. Jadakiss alone. One of the lines the dude said was, "We got Grammys, y'all still snorting grams."
Wow.
Oh, that's
He said, and then he says, "Y'all ain't even real New Yorkers no more." He's like, "Y'all live out in Denver, Colorado."
Facts.
He said, "Y'all live out in
I like
Miami."
Dipset, though. I'm not even going front. I like Dipset.
Look, they look bad. They look like some recovering addicts out there. They just,
look rough. They
man.
was on that powder.
and then he said, then the worst part was, he said Cameron looked like
Man, don't he
Kevin
look
Hart.
Daddy?
He said he looked like Kevin Hart.
Dude, he looks like somebody daddy. Man.
And-
Let me tell you about when I was young.
And then Joel's just looked like he just like escaped rehab and just didn't grasp the program
You know, the
rules.
only one that looked like they strolling the streets is Jim Jones.
He still is in the streets.
That dude,
He ain't nothing to
like
fuck
he was
with.
still on the corner. Like you can still catch him in Harlem right now.
He's the only one that probably still lives there. The only
I
one.
like Jim Jones.
Oh, Jim Jones is like, let's get it real. Like this is a thug.
Oh,
Ain't nothing changed about him.
Nothing changed.
Nothing gonna
His
change.
lady in the mood though, he like, nah, bro, I'm still in these streets.
But yeah,
I miss them, man. Them Dipset days when
the Dipset days. And then he said, "Oh, you complained about somebody shot you. Well, I'm mad because they didn't kill you."
wow.
And that happened to Cam. I remember that because I was at the nightclub that Cam was at in DC. It was called DC Live, and then they changed their name to Love Nightclub down in Northeast DC. And he was leaving, and he was in his pink Ferrari or his pink Lamborghini, and it was cold outside, so he had the pink fur on and all of that.
Fur.
And he actually pulled up to the hospital where my mom's a charge nurse at, and one of her friends attended to him because he got shot. But yeah, those dudes were on one.
I still like Kid.
I mean, I like old Cam.
You know what? I like Dipset when Dipset was mixtapes.
That's true.
When they were mixtapes, and the thing is like I remember I was talking to an old head, this big hip hop nigga. I was like, when you look at them two groups, the Locks, and you look at Dipset, you looking at Dipset as just swag. It's just swag.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
The Locks are still
was
the
just trying to
streets.
sell merch. They were trying to be an image, and the Locks are just grimy rappers.
Right.
It's kind of like when you look at like Griselda and like
Ooh.
Benny the Butcher. Benny the Butcher is not a commercial rapper. He is a gully rapper, and like imagery wise, when you try to sell it to regular people, they don't sell.
That's like Gunplay.
Yeah.
Gunplay is a phenomenal rapper. I mean, his metaphors, his use of the language, the way that he paints a picture with words, you're just like, then you feel like you're in it.
Yeah.
But some people can't identify with it, so they don't understand it, and they choose not to listen to it. But he's another one that is just, he's great.
But that reminds me of like another thing that happened probably in the last week since we were on the show. Is like, man, what the hate that came out of nowhere for freaking Paul Wall. I was like,
What happened to him?
So there was this kind of thing going around about white rappers, and I was like, man, you can't put Paul Wall in that group because Paul Wall is at the cookout showing the dude at the grill how to cook the food.
Let me tell you something about Paul Wall. This is how thorough Paul Wall is. Okay, Paul Wall is on a song with Toby.
Oh, that's my song.
Okay.
I love his intro.
Okay. So you can't put him in that category, like you said. He is a just down south hood rapper.
He's down south the whole time. He
Like,
never changes.
No.
Like,
And this is a dude who was in the streets, who was hustling, was a dental hygienist, started doing grills. You know what I'm saying? Like, this dude he ain't one of these SoundCloud rappers. He's not one of these dudes that like lived in the suburbs and was like, oh, I want to be a rapper and wear baggy clothes. Like, no, this dude is hood. Like, give him his respect.
You can't be on Swisher House and you wasn't.
No.
You wasn't about the street.
You can't.
You couldn't. They wouldn't even let you in. And the thing that kills me about Paul Wall is that people want to talk when people talk about Southern rappers not having flow. Paul Wall got it.
He's still got it. He's still got it.
Drive slow. Man, I still listen to his verse. You could take Kanye off of it. Just him going.
When you said Paul Wall, Swisher House spokesperson, all right, right there, that was it. Because like you said, you can't use that endorsement if you're not really about it.
Sitting sideways.
Still tipping on fofos.
Tipping on fofos.
I mean, when you talk about that, like, look at the whole Rick Ross situation with Big Meech.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was not sanctioned, and guess what? You saw what happened to him. Like,
you ain't got to be in the streets to be a rapper, but if you're gonna be about the streets, you better be about the streets.
Well, you better roll with some dudes that's about the streets, because it ain't nice out here.
Ask your boy Takashi. You learn quick. You can be famous for a bit, but they gonna come for you eventually.
And to be your own people.
You see West Coast wise, they quick to throw him out there like, yo, he ain't about here. He ain't from here.
Look at the game.
For real.
Look at the game.
Yeah. And I hate how he did that because he's a decent rapper. He could just be a rapper. You ain't got to be like that.
Yeah. I don't know. I digress. We're going to go ahead and close this show out because I'm hungry. And I need to get something to eat. And I've been drinking.
I'm listening.
Matter of fact, you know what? That is a great
Oh, wow, baby.
Swisher House spokesperson, man. So, Art, what's going on for the rest of the day for you?
No plans, really. No plans.
Mike Jones.
I might finally head down to Grand tomorrow.
Okay. I still have not been there, so still have not gone down.
Give me some of them houses. I'll hook you up with a little bit of cash.
Which one's the Connecticut? Okay.
If they got in smaller deals.
Okay, I'll check.
If they got them really long ones.
It's cut in half. But
2 cigars for the price of one.
There you go.
But you can't even get your cutter all the way around the bottom part. Tell me that don't hit. Always in the days, sitting sideways. That was back when I had the 110 and the ST.
And you took the bottom screws off the license plate so you could hit that vibration
she was
on it.
shaking. Something like a baller.
This is D Cigar Snob, Chair 4 Steve, and of course, Art Man Forever. Sir Shirts and Shoes, ATF Radio, down at the lovely Executive Cigar Lounge in Sanford, West Seminole Boulevard. Please join us next week and have a great smoky afternoon. And remember, always aim center mass.
See some chicken grease.